Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county in case you are within the republic, or the country in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is one thing which Kenya Kwanza is gifting Azimio, then it's the Finance Bill 2023. That finance bill can only be compared to BBI. Because in 2018, after the handshake, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga initiated the Building Bridges Initiative process. That is what propelled and sustained William Ruto's campaign. Because as much as BBI was good, there were so many bad things in that particular bill. In the finance bill, which is going to pass, because William Ruto is determined, Rigathi Gachagua is determined, because it's going to pass, it has so many bad things in it, which is going to destroy this government, because the Kenyan population are going to feel the impact. Immediately, it's passed into the law. Earlier today, William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were in Narok County. And their message to members of parliament is one.
Kura ati ajira. I am waiting for the members of parliament who will go and vote against the plan to give these young people, majority of them, they are voters. I am waiting for them to go and vote against the employment of these young people. I am waiting for members of parliament to go and vote against housing that would give these people a chance to own a decent home with 5% mortgage when you yourself as a leader is getting a mortgage because of the taxes paid by the people of Kenya of 3%. Mimi nangojea wale wabunge watakuwa ukule bunge ni tuwaone kwa macho.
We want to see those who will oppose this bill and punish them. And I remember yesterday in Kitui, Rigathi Gachagua was also very clear that they will not take any development to members of parliament who will oppose this bill. In fact, I was shocked by Rigathi Gachagua's statement because he was reacting to a member of parliament from Ukambani. This member of parliament is actually an economist, and the gentleman was debating this particular bill before and prosecuting it before the people. Just listen to this guy and let me know whether that particular statement or speech by this gentleman was enough to provoke Rigathi Gachagua the way he reacted.
Your Excellency, because you are here, and I'm sure your MPs might not be able to tell you the truth. Mimi nina PhD economics. My PhD is in economics. Ukiuliza waziri amesema mimi ni mtu wa mahesabu, na ukweli mahesabu mimi na mathematics is one thing. Ameniambia ile hesabu niliweza kupata kukosa kidogo ni hesabu ya kutoingia Kenya Kwanza. Na hiyo nakubali. Hiyo hesabu hiyo si kupata. Lakini ukweli, Your Excellency. Na ni vizuri tuambie wakubwa ukweli. How do we get it right? Your Excellency, there are only two controversial things. Only two. Na kama hiyo mgaweza, na lazima tushukuru rais. Jana nilisikia ile ilikuwa ya vijana, ile digital creation, rais amewaondolea. That's what we want to see. We want flexibility in terms of matters finance. So that ukiona kitu nafinya watu wako sana, unaondoa. And Your Excellency, wewe ni msomi. Na kwa sababu wewe msomi, mimi wale tumesoma economics, the basic principle is that no country in the world has ever developed by taxing people beyond their capacity to pay. No country in the world. None. And we must say the truth. So, kwa sababu unajua tax ni process tu. At the end of the day, ni pesa kwa mesa. Ile watafanya kazi nayo. At the same time, pesa ni ya taxpayer. Sisi tunalipa, tunapea rigiji na boss wanatumia kulingana na manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza. So the money belongs to the taxpayer. Now, because that is the case, I want to appeal to you, Madam Deputy President. Ukikutana na rais jioni, muangalie two things. Mambo ya kuongezea VAT from 8 to 16%. I'm now talking as an economist. Sasa hii mambo ya siasa hii ni kitu nilianza juzi. Sasa hiyo hii ndio ninakulanga hii naongea juu yake. Mambo ya kuongezea VAT from 8 to 16. Please let's sober up as Kenyans and look at that proposal. Tuulizane, hii ilikuwa inatupea pesa ngapi kwa mfuko ya serikali? Is there alternative way of raising the same amount? And if you need that alternative way, I'll be there for consultation for the sake of my country.
The choices are there. Ukweli ni kwamba pia mheshimiwa, unajua ni mzuri nikwambie, hata kama utapinga hiyo bill itapita. You don't have the numbers. So iko haja gani kupinga kitu ambaye itapita? There's no need. Tulikuja hapa Ukambani.
But why do you think William Ruto is now threatening members of parliament with punishment in case they fail to vote for this bill? If you've been following William Ruto and the finance bill, he's very clear. He wants the bill to pass. And of course, you can understand William Ruto. He needs the money for development. At the same time, he needs the money for 2027, which means he must have his team. He must have the money somewhere, which is team, which is strategically appointed to steal, so that they can use those money to buy Kenyans, the way he did in 2022. He needs the money. You can understand him. And that can explain why, for example, someone like Panyako, who just gave his opinion on this particular bill, had to be kicked out of the party.
Yani ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba nilipokea simu kutoka kwa rais mwendo saa 1:20 Ijumaa. Akaniambia kwamba wewe unapinga mambo ya housing levy na mambo mengine ambayo yanafanya gharama ya maisha kwa Wakenya kwenda juu. Nikamwambia kwamba uelewe kwamba mimi ni kiongozi wa wafanyakazi na kitu yangu muhimu kabisa ni kusimama na wafanyakazi na wananchi wa kawaida. Nikamuuliza, akaniambia kwamba anasukumwa na wengine wakina Malala na wengine kwamba ni kwa nini unakubali Mr. Panyako kuendelea kuwa kiongozi katika chama cha UDA na anapinga miradi ya serikali. Nikamwambia unataka namna gani? Akasema haiwezekani kuendelea namna hiyo. Inabidi uondoke kwa uongozi wa chama cha UDA. Mimi nikakubali na nikamwambia nitaondoka katika chama cha UDA maana hiyo ni demokrasia yangu.
But how many members of parliament from Kenya Kwanza do you think are opposed to this bill? I think several, because you can also tell from the reaction. Kenya Kwanza members of parliament are known to be vocal. Since this debate began, most of them are not vocal. And some of them are now coming out to openly oppose this bill. For example, this member of parliament from Imenti Central is very clear on what he wants. It's like 8% VAT is okay, but increasing it to 12,000 is going to hurt Kenyans. So why would William Ruto want someone like this gentleman?
Lakini wenzangu wale tumepigiwa kura na wao, hiyo percentage ya mafuta kupandisha petroli tusipitishe ato. Tutaifanyia amendment, hiyo finance bill ikikuja, hiyo ya mafuta lazima tuitoe. My colleague Kuria Kimani, popote pale yako, mbele hata hajaingia mbunge au akijua tunamngojea, we have to amend that clause. Hiyo ya petroli, mambo ya mafuta kuongeza, kondi ya mafuta haitaongezeka as long as we in that parliament. On my side, I tell you nobody is supporting it. How can you support what can kill your own people?
But the biggest question, why is William Ruto planning to punish members of parliament who are going to oppose this bill? That's what I want us to look in this particular video. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And for this particular video, guys, I want to make a request to you. Press that thumbs up button, and on the same breath, allow me to thank Diana and Felista for the coffee which I just received a few minutes ago. Thank you, ladies. And you can also do the same using the numbers on your screen. Now, what's your take on the finance bill? Because William Ruto has picked the house levy. And for me, William Ruto is a very smart politician. He knows so well that this bill has very bad aspects in it. But he's now focusing on the housing levy, which is 3%. Let's say tomorrow he decides to withdraw that 3%. Will you then now support that bill? That is the situation he's trying to put these people. And there are certain members of parliament who are making us understand this bill in a very simple way. Listen in, for example, this member of parliament.
Unasema ati mnataka kuchukua pesa ya wale wako na mshahara ndio muajiri wale ambao wana mshahara. Na ile ajira inapangwa ni ya kujenga nyumba. Wacha niulize Kalicha, kwani watoto wetu wote ni mafundi? Ule accountant iko kazi yake kwa mjengo? Ule wakili iko kazi yake kwa mjengo? Daktari ako na kazi kwa mjengo? Na kazi ya mjengo, hata niwaambie ukweli, ni kazi ya kibarua. Wale walijenga hii hall wanafanya kazi hapa leo? Si waliajiriwa wakafanya na kazi ikaisha? Kwa hivyo hata kutudanganya ati mnatafutia watu mishahara, hiyo story tumekataa. Sasa wacha niwaambie, ile vitu inaumiza wale watu ambaye wana mshahara, kwa sababu hapo ndio hataki tuongee. Kwanza kabisa, VAT, ushuru ya mafuta inapandishwa ifike 16%. Hiyo ni kumaanisha bei ya mafuta itapanda. Bei ya mafuta ikipanda, bei ya nauli inafanya nini? Na kwa hivyo bidhaa, sababu zinabebwa na gari kupeleka kwa duka, bei ya bidhaa zote inafanya nini? Iko duka ya wale wako na mshahara na wale hawana. Si ukienda kwa duka gharama ni moja, bei ni moja. So ukiambiwa ati vita ni ya wale wako na mshahara na wale hawana, ukiingia kwa matatu hakuna conductor anakuuliza payslip yako, anakuambia wewe toa pesa. Kwa hivyo hiyo story ya kutuambia ati ni vita, hapana. Tukipandisha bei ya mafuta inaumiza kila mtu. Wale watu wanaitwa hustler, wanapiga biashara ndogo ndogo. Ukifanya biashara ndogo ndogo, kitambo ulikuwa ulipi ushuru. Sasa mnaambiwa kila hustler lazima atalipa shilingi 3 kwa ile shilingi 100 anauza kila siku. Hustler ule anauza kwa kiosk, ako na mshahara, na gharama ya maisha yake sinaenda juu. So mimi nimekuja tu kusema hivi, iko vitu mingi ndani ya finance bill ambazo tukizikubali zipite, gharama ya maisha ya kila Mkenya itaenda wapi?
But why is William Ruto going to punish these members of parliament? Number one, it's his strategy to intimidate Kenya Kwanza members of parliament. William Ruto is the party leader of Kenya Kwanza. William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya. William Ruto chairs Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group meeting. He convened a group meeting, parliamentary group meeting in State House just the other day. He talked to these members of parliament. Some of them are still going out there and saying they are opposed to this bill. Actually, William Ruto told the members of parliament, Kenya Kwanza members of parliament, to go outside there and sell the bill. Most of these members of parliament have tried. They can't. Yesterday in Bungoma, none of these members of parliament, Kenya Kwanza, could even be allowed to speak about this bill. They were stopped. You saw how Malala was kicked, was heckled like a brokenge in Isiolo. I know they are changing the story to mean that there were factions which are fighting. The truth is, Kenyans are tired. So it's his strategy of intimidating these members of parliament so that none of them will be able to oppose the bill. Specifically Kenya Kwanza. Number two, William Ruto is going to identify this particular bill. And I want to assume that on the voting day, it's not going to be secret. Itakuwa nachukua, inakuwa announced. So William Ruto from State House will be writing your name. Okay, huyu amevote no. Ni member wapi? Okay. Kenya Kwanza, okay. Huyu amepiga kura no, okay. Ni Azimio, okay. From where? then it's going to de-whip most of them from parliamentary committees. You know, if, for example, Seth Panyako could be kicked out because of just airing his opinion and is not a member of parliament, which means he's not going to vote for this bill, what about members of parliament who are going to vote? And you chair a powerful committee in the name of Kenya Kwanza, you'll be kicked out. So you want to use these to identify those members of parliament. And because committees are so important to members of parliament, none of those senior members of parliament or those who hold those committee positions will be willing to defy Ruto, because Ruto is known. Number three, also tend to think that William Ruto was actually just communicating Kenya Kwanza stand. That for us as Kenya Kwanza, this is how we are going to vote. So if you're a member of Kenya Kwanza, that's the direction. So if you decide to deviate, then that's up to you. You wait for the consequences. And lastly, I tend to think that it's also William Ruto's latest strategy of campaigning for this bill. The other day, I explained to you in another video how William Ruto has changed his strategy of winning over members of parliament who are opposed to this bill. And his strategy is very simple: intimidation, taking only good part of this bill, setting these members of parliament against the people. Like, for example, in Narok, he was like, I want to see those members of parliament who will vote for you not to have not to have a house. So let us wait and see how this thing is going to pan out. But Azimio are lucky, but they have a problem with communications. But William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are actually gifting them with a political arsenal. Whether they're going to use it is up to them. In my next video tomorrow, I'm going to explain to you guys how Azimio can actually take advantage of this finance bill to position themselves as the next alternative. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.